Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another video, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about card grading, and those of you that know me pretty well know that I do a lot of card grading personally. I haven't done a lot of card grading stuff on the channel. I've done a couple of like unboxing videos, things like that. But for those of you unfamiliar, card grading is essentially where you send in your trading cards to these professional companies. They assign a grade, put it in like a permanent case, can highly increase the value of trading cards, right? And right now there are, I would say, two like really big main companies for grading, which would be PSA and BGS, which is Beckett Grading. And I would say CGC is theirs, maybe like number 3. They're more known for comic book grading, but they have done card grading, and I think some people have leaned into them a little bit. But what I want to talk about in this video is, you know, when it comes to these maybe grading wars of like which company should I grade with, things like that, I think PSA has just done something immaculate, like to make them really stand apart from other grading companies. And I just want to do, I was actually like, I'm so excited about this as it's kind of developing. And I'm someone who I've used mainly PSA for my grading services. And I'm going to say this up front. It's going to seem like this is like a sponsored video or something like that. It is 100% not sponsored. Like PSA doesn't even know who I am. They don't know my channel. You guys can look back at my channel. I have barely anything on grading. This is just me being someone who enjoys card grading and wanted to make a video about it and have a discussion about it because I think it's actually very interesting. And I just want to talk about kind of how brilliant PSA has done with like the marketing and some of the new strategies they're doing, that if you're someone that's on the fence about grading, if you understand what PSA is doing right now, it's going to be really hard not to choose them as your grading service. So before I even get into this, obviously people have a strong preference over which slab they want. The big difference between PSA and BGS is BGS has like a tiered scale for grading where they have 4 different categories that are all graded and visible on the card. So it's a lot more strict and the grade is broken down a lot more, which therefore has higher reward if you get really good grades with BGS, right? The counterpart PSA has a simpler slab, a skinnier slab, which some people like, but it has a more simpler grading system where it's literally just a number grade, and it is easier to obtain a PSA 10, which is considered the perfect grade, right? Whereas Beckett's perfect grade is a black label pristine, which is insanely hard to get. The caveat of that is black labels can go way far and above what a PSA 10 is. So with BGS, the value can go a lot higher. But if you're someone that wants to have graded cards that are like a quote unquote perfect grade, it's easier to achieve that with PSA, because even though the card might not truly be perfect, you can still get a PSA 10, but there's a lower ceiling for how much the card can be worth, if that makes sense, right? So the first thing to consider when choosing your grading company is which slab do you prefer, which grading style do you prefer. Now, what I'm going to say is right now, if you're someone that already grades and like you like BGS because you like that tiered system, you like the idea of chasing black labels, like this probably isn't going to convert you over. But if you're someone that's like newer to grading and you're not really sure, what PSA is doing right now is just so brilliant in terms of marketing, retaining members, and gaining new members. And what I'm going to talk about is some of the perks you get for having a membership, right? Once again, I know it's going to really sound like I'm a sponsored video because I'm talking about like wanting you guys to get a membership, but it's really just because I'm excited about it and want people to understand like how cool this is, what they're doing. And I think it is going to set them apart. Now, who knows, maybe BGS will do their own thing, but traditionally when you get a membership, and just to be clear, with any of these companies, you don't have to have a membership, but getting a membership unlocks perks, right? So I'll talk about PSA because that's the membership I'm very familiar with. So what happens when you get a PSA membership is you pay a yearly fee, and then what it does is it unlocks like different grading specials and different bulk options to get cards graded much more cheaply. And so if you're someone that grades a lot, it's always been a very good idea to get a membership so that you can save a lot of money that way. Now, what else you get with a membership, PSA normally would just send you like a bonus item. Like I've gotten a backpack before, I've gotten a t-shirt, I've gotten a book before, sometimes I've gotten free grades, things like that. So you always get something kind of interesting like that. And then you get a subscription to a PSA magazine. Now, the magazine is actually going to be the focus of this video. And you might think, well, a magazine for a grading company, like what could be so exciting about that, right? And in the past, it wasn't really that exciting. It was kind of cool to get it. It was like, I would say it was equivalent to like when I got my Game Informer magazines or something like that, right? It's like, oh, cool, I got this in the mail. It's got like a glossy cover, like typical magazine. You read some articles, learn about some cards, got a little price guide. You kind of read it and you toss it. Or maybe you look at it quick and you're not interested in the content. You might even just recycle it outright. And that has kind of typically been my attitude towards these PSA magazines. Now, once in a great while, they would have special editions, pretty rarely, but you could get like alternate cover arts and things, which is kind of cool. So then what PSA started to do is they said, well, let's kind of maybe try to make this into a collectible, right? And there have been periods where they've done that here and there, but there was still nothing like too crazy that I really cared about. Well, PSA now for the past 2 months, by the way, I'm recording this, it is May 2024, and this started in April 2024. So what PSA has gone and done is they've essentially done a rebranding on their magazine. I'm going to show you some examples and stuff here in a minute, but they've done a complete rebranding of their magazine. So they've kind of changed the look of it. They've gone with a very clean, consistent style to the magazine, and they've gone with a more like matte cover, and it just looks and feels really nice and clean. And what they've essentially done is the magazines now almost look like a giant trading card, and they have like a really nice high quality to them, and they're emphasizing the collectability of these magazines. Now, what is so significant about it is they've done a rebranding starting in April 2024, where they're actually like starting over on their catalog. So the April 2024 PSA magazine is now called Volume 1. So they're literally doing like a reset. And when I got my first one, I'm like, dang, this magazine looks really nice. But I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was one of those one-ofs where they did like variant covers once in a while. But when I got the May edition, I realized, no, I think they're going to do this like basically every month, which is crazy. So what's happening now is normally my PSA magazines would just come, and they would be like shrink wrapped or whatever, but it was, you could see the whole magazine. Well, now my magazines come and they're shrink wrapped with like a paper over the cover, so you can't see the cover. So it's kind of like opening a pack of cards, and they all have variant covers now with collectability, and these variant covers have different rarities, right? So it's like a pack of cards, and you can actually get serial numbered magazines. And I'm going to show you guys here in a minute something that they've got going on. I'm going to show you like kind of what's going on eBay right now, right? But you can actually get variant covers, and some of them are numbered to 1,000. Some of them are numbered to 500, and there's even one of ones, which we don't even know how to price a one of one because I don't have a recorded value of one being sold at this time, but you can imagine a lot of money, right? So what they're doing now is they're taking this magazine, which was kind of like a throw-in thing, and now it's almost like a collectible where like every month it's like getting a pack of cards, even though it's one item, but I have a chance to get something really expensive, and these magazines look really nice, like I said, like a big trading card. All right, so let me get in and kind of show you this. So this is April 2024. This is volume 1, and this is what I received, right? So what they did for the first one was they did a Pokemon edition. Sorry, I'm going to try to get this so the light isn't so bad on it. I'm going to show you some on eBay as well, but this is like a really nice magazine. Sorry, the lighting is like, I got my ring light on it, and there we go. There's some good lighting. There you go. Now you can see it nice. Trying to get it there, but you see it's just nice and clean. Like it's just focus on the character. Like you notice there's no like gaudy writing on it or anything, right? Like a normal magazine will have like a bunch of gaudy writing on it. It'll, maybe say like a volume number on it and stuff, and it would be like that. But like it's just really simple. PSA up here, big image of your thing, very solid color, right? And it's just very clean. And then the back of it, it's literally just a plain backing, right? And this is where I've seen them online with their serial number. There'll actually be a serial stamp on these. So what this first edition is, this is volume 1. You are sent either Venusaur, Blastoise, or Charizard, or Pikachu. And they have different rarities for being pulled. And then I believe the Charizards, you can get serial number Charizards, which is crazy, right? So that is what came the first month. I'm like even before I understood what PSA was really doing, I actually like put this aside, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this. Like, this is really cool. Normally I literally discard my PSA magazines, and this Blastoise is so cool. I'm like, I need to keep that, right? So then this month's magazine literally just came in the mail today, and I got this. So look at this. Once again, you can tell, like, they're going with the theme here, right? Luke Skywalker. This literally looks like an old 1970s Star Wars trading card. Like, you can see the setup is very, and if we go back to Blastoise, like, they got like the little blue button in the corner, like it almost looks like a Pokedex, right? Like they have a theme with it, and it's very simple and it fits what's going on. This here, like, legit, it looks like an old, sorry, lighting bad. There we go. Like an old Star Wars trading card from the, 70s or 80s, right? And so here we go, Luke Skywalker, and then the back, once again, just very simple, plain color back, but it just almost looks like a really nice trading card. And they're choosing subject matters that, people really like, and characters or whatever that are really cool. Now, I'm going to show you right now, both of my magazines I got were the most common ones. So most people got these. The Luke Skywalker, they are all Luke Skywalker, but they're different color variants. And there is a black Luke Skywalker 1 of 1 out there somewhere. Someone is super lucky and has that. I don't know who got it, but it's going to be worth a lot of money, right? So let's just hop on over to eBay, right? And there's something else that I haven't even told you guys about yet that I want to show you. And I might have to do a quick web search. I meant to bring it up ahead of time and I forgot. But let me just pop over to the old interwebs here. And we're going to go on the eBay. So I just pulled up some eBay listings, and these are sold listings, right? So if we're looking here, we'll look at the Pokemon edition, right? These are Venusaur ones, and these are not even serial numbered. I'm pretty sure Venusaur and Blastoise are both common and have the same odds. Venusaur might be a little bit more rare because I noticed the Venusaur's going for a little bit more. But here are sales at like $37, $38. Charizard, I think, only comes serial numbered. It's numbered to 1,000. And it's, look at that, 170 bucks. For a magazine, you get for free just for being a member, right? Here's another Venusaur at 35, another Charizard over 100. Pikachu I'm seeing Pikachu commonly around $40. So I'm seeing Pikachu and Venusaur in like the $40 range. Charizard consistently over 100, pushing $200, right? And then we'll get the Blastoise, which, yeah, I got the raw end of the deal. They're about 20 bucks, right? But here's the thing. So yeah, common Blastoise, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever, right? Here's the Luke Skywalker, right? Oh, but this is for 2 of them for 40. So I did pull up Luke Skywalker separate. So if you look here, this is the blue common base one, but still 20 to 25 bucks, right? Here someone's got a variant, right? So there's the green one numbered to 100, 100 bucks somebody paid for that. Now these Luke Skywalkers just came out. So literally there's only, I think, just these 3 recorded sales. It just was in my mailbox today. So these are going to keep coming out. But what I'm saying is what an incentive to not just get like a magazine, but a magazine that is actually a collectible. And even if you get the common ones, if this trend continues, and I don't know that it will, right? Because not all magazines will be as popular as Pokemon and Star Wars. But let's just say this trend continues. If the common magazine every month is worth 20 bucks, you literally could just sell this every month and get $20 a month. And your subscription essentially would just pay for itself. So you could basically have the subscription for free if you want to have that mentality with it. Or you could have a collector's mentality that, like, for me personally, I think I'm actually just going to keep and collect these and let them sit. I'm especially looking at these Pokemon ones, right? Like, we all know how iconic the Pokemon franchise is, and we think back to that base Pokemon set, how expensive those first edition Charizards and all of these are. I mean, what if these magazines have the same effect? Because keep in mind, if this PSA magazine thing continues to get really popular and people are signing up and like really collecting these, can you imagine for like the people later on that get into it that weren't around right now when these came out? These are volume 1. So like even this common Blastoise over time, I feel like can only increase in value because it's like the first ever PSA magazine of this typing. Like I said, it's a complete rebranding. Like the magazine is essentially starting over. And I think if PSA is continuing this format and we're just getting like serial numbered magazine variant cover collectibles every month that are worth money and very collectible, like it's essentially like you're paying the subscription, but then you're getting these awesome magazines as a bonus and as another collectible, which is a great part of the hobby, right? So that's the first really, really big thing, right? Now, the second thing, which I have to do a quick search for you guys here. I meant to pull this up ahead of time, but PSA, I'm sure this will pop up immediately. We're going to do this, And I'm just going to go into, let me see if I just have an image for it. Yeah, right here. We can just pull this up. So yeah, I'll just pull up this image right here. I think this one will be okay. I don't know if they have a picture. They did have one with a picture of the cover. Oh yeah, this one right here. Oh no, this is the picture. Yeah, this is what I want. I'm going to show you guys this. Open image, a new tab. This is what we want right here. Okay, so this right here, this is what we're getting next month. So we're getting a one-piece PSA magazine, right? And here's the thing, like this is the cover here. And my assumption is there will be variant covers. And the variant covers could either be Luffy with different colors or they could have different characters, whatever. It's all hype. But guess what? PSA now is getting the rights to PSA promo cards. Now this is going to be huge, you guys. So like I went through my whole spiel, you know, about how the magazines are such a good deal and all that, whatever, collectible. I could see some people just being like, I don't give a crap. Even if it's $20 a magazine, I like my BGS or whatever. Or maybe I don't grade that much. And I will say this up front. If you don't grade stuff very often, it's probably not worth it to get the subscription just for the magazines. I'll say that right away. This is for people that are actively grading cards, okay, that are going to be grading cards a lot. Then it's like 100 million trillion % worth it. Like the type of people that would be thinking about a subscription anyways, right? Well, here's what we got coming next month. Not only are we getting the magazine, but we're getting this exclusive promo card. Now, this is doubly good for PSA because one, if they're going to be giving out promo cards that are exclusive to them, there's no other way to get them. It's going to drive people to want to subscribe to their service to get the promo cards. But then it's like literally, I was talking to a friend about it. Like I'm literally going to get this in the mail and just send this card right back to them. Like I'm just going to want it graded immediately. We made the joke that like, I wish I could just like pay PSA an extra like $20 and just have them slab the card before they send it to me. Like just grade it first. But so it's doubly good because it's going to get people to want the magazine for the promo. But then the people that are subscribed are also people grading cards. They are literally just going to send this back and they're going to immediately get money back for people grading the card they are giving you for free. Like it's genius. It is so brilliant. And I think PSA, this is something where like, you know, if we want to call it the card grading wars, right? Like BGS versus PSA, you can throw CGC in there as well. This is what, if there was any debate over who is number one, I feel like this puts PSA at number one. Because they are going to get so many people on board with this. And this is such good marketing in that you've got the collectible in the magazine, you've got the collectible in the card, right? And I would actually argue this is good for CGC. This is actually killer for CGC. You want to know why? Look at this. Guess who grades magazines? CGC grades magazines. And people have already been grading PSA magazines because like I've said, this isn't the first time they've done serial numbered stuff. It just wasn't every month. But here's an example. Here's a Michael Jordan variant limited to 500. And someone paid $63, but it was a CGC 8 lower grade. And once again, I think these ones are a little bit more hype because this is more like they're appealing to the non-sport card people a lot. And I know, let's say you're someone that's really into baseball cards, basketball, whatever. Like this is going to be for you guys as well. It's just, this is the time of year where they always do the non-sport stuff because, well, April could be whatever. I think they did Pokemon because they wanted that to be number one, to be iconic to set it off. But April isn't usually tied to Pokemon. But May, because of May the 4th be with you, Star Wars makes sense. And then July with Luffy here in this. July, they always do like anime, Pokemon, non-sport because that's when Comic-Con is. And so like July, they do always do like a Comic-Con edition. So once we get past July, like I would fully expect August to be like sports. Whatever's going on in August, maybe they'll do baseball, maybe, you know, actually August, if I were to make a prediction, would probably be NFL because NFL is going to be having combines going on. They're going to be practicing and gearing up for the NFL season. It'll probably be like whoever the most hype NFL rookie is or something like that. Patrick Mahomes, I don't know, but I would expect sports. So if you're someone watching this and you're not interested in Pokemon and stuff, like my assumption is they will continue to do this for sports as well. And you could still get your serial numbered magazines, right? So I don't know. I think it's really exciting. And I just wanted to make this video because I'm very excited about it. And I wanted people to be aware of it because I think there are a lot of people that have subscribed to PSA and maybe got their Pokemon magazine and maybe didn't think much about it and maybe just threw it away. and didn't realize they're throwing away $20 to $200 depending on which version they had, right? So I want people to be aware, like if you already get PSA magazine, like you definitely should hold on to these or go ahead and sell them. And try to take care of them and keep them in good condition. And then moving forward, I think this is very good for the future of PSA. I think it's good. I think this is great for collectors because once again, I'm really excited to collect these magazines and get them. And what I'll say is this has already had an effect on me in terms of how I operate with PSA, because the PSA memberships are year long, right? And typically what I do is I do not auto renew every year. What I do is whenever it runs out, I wait a few months until I have like a good stockpile and I'm ready to start grading again, and then I renew. So I usually have like a 3 to 4 month period where I am not subscribed. Now I am not going to want to miss one of these monthly magazines. So I am going to be subscribed nonstop because I think this is great. So anyways, let me know what you think about this if you're into grading, and let me know if you maybe agree or disagree with some of my thoughts on this. If you're already grading with PSA or other companies, if you're excited for this, if this would cause you to switch companies, things like that. I'm really interested in the conversation. So let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.